that. They just saw it. You were calling them by another name. Okay, if that's what it takes to get along with you white folks and to trade with you, we'll call them that name then. Islam came in. Those cats in the Sudan and those great empires and golden empire, we were the richest black folk in the world. Richest black. Wasn't no more gold nowhere in the world than in Africa. Everything you needed to make you rich was in Africa, in our cable land, in Western, where we came from. Say, in order to do trade with them, because they got the trade routes tied up here in the north and other places, if Islam say, I accept there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet, Rasulullah, Muhammad is fine, if that's what it takes to do business. But I still believe in the ancient traditions. It's just another way of calling it something. And here they came, it was a big deal. We've Islamized all of Africa. They did not. Because the African had a different concept of Islam than the Eurasians and so-called Semitics that brought it in. Okay, so nobody taught us nothing. Nobody taught us nothing about God, and I've got to emphasize that. I know I don't have to emphasize it to you because most of y'all seem to be learned in these things, but we have to re-emphasize that to other black folks and to our children especially. Because see, that black folks argue you down about this Bible thing. And I mean, they get caught in that one dimension and you can't get their mind to expand beyond it. Because that's all they know. If they come through it as a Jehovah's Witness, that's the truth. There ain't no other truth. Ain't nothing else, can't be nothing. Because that's all they know. If they're Seventh-day Adventists, which I want, this is the truth, the last truth that is ever going to be taught. That's it. You got to get the whole world to accept this, then Jesus will come. Only. Islam, same thing. If you don't accept this, this is the only truth. That's one-dimensional. One-dimensional. There ain't no only truth. If there was one only truth, there would only be one kind of tree, one kind of food, one kind of river, one kind of thinking. If there's an only truth, everything in nature is an expression and a revelation of what? Truth. What is the word truth? From the Greek, aletheia, as we use in today's language, according to the facts. That's what the truth is. And the facts are what? Relative to a given time and situation. If there was only one set of facts, you wouldn't need a court of law. In the court of law, they claim, well, in our courts of law, the object was to get at the truth. That which according to the truth. If there was only one truth, you wouldn't need the darn court of law. It would just be obvious. So there must be many truths when you got to go to court and argue the situation back and forth like that and work it out till you get to that particular truth. Now, if I don't clear up anything else or help to clear up anything, because Dr. Ben and I has been trailblazing this for so long enough, if I don't help to clear up anything else in my lifetime, this one thing I want to clear up with black folk about this whole thing of the truth. And this whole thing of only one way to God, and this whole thing, you either got to be Christian, this type of Christian, or this type of Muslim, or this type of Hebrew, or this type of this, or this type of that. You can be all of it. Because with the African, it's not either or. Why not all? It's a part of a total whole. The one. When you hear about the goddess this and the god that and all that, they were manifestations of the one. There was only one God to the African. Got to understand that. Is that clear? I couldn't overemphasize that enough, because that keeps so much destruction going on among us. So much. And we be putting energies into stuff that we don't need to be putting energies into. Okay, I'm trying to just teach, but you know I'm a preacher and I get caught into that too. Preach. Now, let me get, where's that document now? Let me get to finish with the teaching here. The other word I want to deal with here was monotheism in this document. Let's read the document again to put us back on track. Y'all help me with it. Somebody read it for me, please. Document 2. So we forgot where we were, huh? Okay, my sister, please.
Christian Old Testament are read with direct copies of what's written word to word from
Thank you very much. Since we're going to deal with those Hebrews being out of Egypt and Ethiopia as we go on. And we are going to take a break after this one, okay? Let me read from Dr. Williams on this thing about one God. Well, I got to take time on this because we have been taught that we were running around bowing down, worshiping any and everything, and it wasn't until a white man came with his elevated concept of the one God that Moses taught the world, that he came and gave this idea of the one God that we were now brought out of our abject heathenism and cannibalism to now be upright worshipers of the one true God, which everybody says they know better than the other. All right. Monotheism, the idea of one, from the Greek theist, theos, meaning God, theos, meaning God. And I told you I don't use the term God only as convenience because of the word dog spelled backwards. We usually say creator or divine intelligence. Theos, mono, Latin, one. Monotheism, one Godism is what it is. And that nobody had us before the Hebrews. And the Hebrews didn't understand until the white folks came along and taught them. All right, if you let the white man tell the story. And he's been telling the story for too damn long, if you get my drift. Time for us to tell the story. Tell me the story, Dr. Williams. Dr. Chancellor Williams, after 16 years of field studies in Africa, that's why he's blind today, studying with no lights, everything, 16 intensive years. Make sure he got the record right. This is a monumental work. You have to read The Destruction of Black Civilization, not once, every year of your life. If you live from now on, and you live 20 more years, and I hope you get more than that, you should have read the book 20 times. That book has to be read over and over. It is one of the most precious books ever written in the history of literature. And I'm not trying to sell you on no religion, not trying to sell you on no one person. However, I have to recognize the value of something for what it is. Dr. Ben's books are precious and must be read. All of them have to be read, and several times. However, this one has to be read at least once a year. At least once a year. And I'm going to read to him now about this one God concept that nobody had. Somebody had to come somewhere and teach to Africa. And because they brought us this great knowledge of the one God, we had to pay them back with pain, suffering, and slavery. We had to pay for this knowledge they brought us that we did not possess. Or did we? Let's read Dr. Williams now, page 94. Read here. Thebes and the role of religion. The proper word for Thebes, the Greeks called the city of Thebes, the stronghold of the blacks down around the first cataract, first water rapids. In ancient Kemet, the proper word is Wose, the orb, because it was an orb which symbolized the sun that had ostrich feathers on it that the great kings carried and was passed on to that line, and all of the pharaohs who were crowned in Thebes, all of the kings of Egypt or Kemet crowned in Thebes, had to also not only have the crook and the flail, they also had to have the orb with the wings on it. And in the Bible it says so beautifully that the Son of Righteousness, S-U-N, not S-O-N, will arise with healing in his wings. And we'll discuss that a little later as we go on. That's about that orb. O-R-B. It symbolized the sun, and that we were the people of the sun. We didn't worship the sun, we reverenced the